ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यामनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वापदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तु ते तप्तकाञ्चना गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो विष्णुपदाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैता गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हुकुम करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्य ईश्वरम्। Wonderful. So, again, thank you all for joining in. We are reading chapter 9, text 127. Very beautiful verse, very well known verse. Yat karosi yat ashnasi,
Yet
यत्करोषि यद् यत्स्नासि
yat juhosi dadasi yat,
यज्जुहोषि ददासि यत्
yat tapasyasi kaunteya,
यत् तपस्याय कौन्तेय
tat kurushva mat arpanam.
तत्कुरुष्वाहमदपनर्पणम्
Arpanam. Beautiful. It's a very well known verse. You hear that very often. What is devotional service actually? When we talk about bhakti, what is the bhakti? This verse actually explains very beautifully. Krishna says, whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Bhakti is the game of heart. What is the difference between any other thing which we do in our life versus bhakti? Bhakti doesn't demand what position we are in. Bhakti doesn't demand what kind of gender we are. Bhakti doesn't demand which caste do we belong to. Bhakti doesn't demand what is your material position, how much money do you have, what kind of opulence do you have, how many people know you, how many followers you have. Bhakti doesn't want that. Bhakti wants heart of a person who is actually doing the bhakti, right? So that is where a lot of times when we come to the path of devotional service, we sometimes don't grow for years and years and months, years and years. We just stay the same. So why we stay the same? Sometimes I remember one devotee who joined with us. Um, Two examples I want to share. Um, we were in Sydney And then there were a lot of youngsters who joined at that time, almost at the same time. um, and then we used to get together every Sunday, at least in the temple, get together, do some service in the temple, and hear katha, have prasad and all that stuff, and have wonderful time. Time passed. So this was 2007, 2007 8. Then I moved to Pune in 2008 around end. Moved back to Pune, I would put it that way. And then around 2010 or so, one time I was in the temple. There is a small temple there in the city in Pune. So I was in the temple. So one devotee pat on my back, and I looked back. This guy was wearing saffron. He was with the shaved head. Um, he said, my name was, he called with my Karmi name, Deepak Prabhu, do you recognize me? Um, I said, Prabhu, I'm trying to, but I'm not able to recognize. I see the face is known, but I can't connect the dots. He said, do you remember when we were in Sydney, we joined together, you remember? And then he mentioned his so and so name. Oh, yeah, 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 I remember you. I'm like, what happened? Like, I just want to know. He said, now I'm a personal servant of Shankar Shantas Adhikari Prabhu. So he actually left his job, left his family, and then dedicated his life to actually serve the Guru. At the same time, there was another devotee, very enthusiastic. I think he joined along with Nayan Sundari. I joined after them. Um, I was very inspired. A perfect Brahmana from South India. He would recite like morning worship he would do before even coming to Krishna consciousness. That was his regular schedule in Sydney. So he moved out of Sydney after some time, and then I think he moved back to Chennai, and then he left Krishna consciousness. Haven't seen him for long. There was another person, um, 2010. I came to US for a small work assignment. I came to North Carolina, Charlotte. So there was one devotee because we didn't have a car. So this devotee, very wonderful devotee, who would serve intensely, like wonderfully. He would serve all the Vaishnavas and all. And then we met after a couple of years. He moved back to Pune. I moved back to Pune. But then we were not able to catch hold of each other. But somehow we were connected through some medium at that time. WhatsApp wasn't there, so Facebook or whatever. He got married, um, and then stopped following Krishna consciousness. Right? Why I'm sharing these examples? When the river is flowing with the high speed, right, with the high current, and when we try to initially swim or stay there in the current, and then we flow along with the current, but at a certain moment we try to be stagnant. So what happens with stagnance? We are swept away by Maya, right? It happens. Like I was hearing my spiritual master's class. Srila Prabhupada's one of the disciple, um, he fell. He fell down from his spiritual position when he was practicing 16 rounds. Um, he took a vow doing 16 rounds for rest of his life, but he fell off. He fell down from his spiritual position, so he started doing all sinful activities. So everybody was ignoring him, everybody just was criticizing him. Srila Prabhupada wrote him a letter. He wrote him a letter. I know you have taken back the same sinful life which you had before coming to Krishna consciousness, but because you chanted one time the name of Krishna very sincerely, Krishna will take care of you. Right? And he took care of him. I don't want to land there, or I don't want to get there. So what happens is, in bhakti is the process of heart. That is what we started with. So when we don't give our heart to Krishna, we give our heart to so many things, to our job, to our boss, to our wife, to our kids, to our family, and much more, right? And then because heart you can't give heart to two people. Like for an example, the boyfriend says to girlfriend, or girlfriend says to boyfriend, you are the only one and I give my complete heart to you. Right? What does that mean? That my heart doesn't go to two people, it just goes to one person. So when we give our heart not to Krishna, to other activities, to other people, then slowly we just are swept away. It's just a matter of time. It is very important for us to actually, this verse is specifically talking about whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform. Whatever you do, we do, like we were just talking about, Mataji was talking about how it's a hectic schedule in the clinic. Some of us are in mechanical, some of us are in IT, some of us are taking care at home. It's extremely busy. We do variety of things from morning to evening. In fact, if you just try to contemplate what I've done so far, you feel, oh wow, did I do so many things just in one day? Krishna says, whatever you do that as an offering to me. What does that mean? We do every activity by remembering Krishna and offering the fruits of that activity to Krishna. Like I was just driving my daughter, she was telling it's easy to practice spiritual life, but when we come in contact with material life, we have to take care of our, like she's studying now, so she was mentioning about, oh, you know what, I have to take care of so many subjects, and there is mundane music which I have to participate in. I don't want to do that because it swaps away my it just takes away my consciousness, because I want to practice spirituality without dilution, which is very important. And this is a very interesting thing I was mentioning. If you see the beautiful devotees in Srimad Bhagavatam, why they are in the book of Srimad Bhagavatam, they went through some struggle, sometimes tremendous struggles we can't even perceive. Like Pandavas, how many? Not just one, not two, not three, not four. We can we get tired even counting on finger how much they have to go through. But why Bhishma Pitama is there in Srimad Bhagavatam? Why are we talking about Pandavas? Because in spite of those struggles, in spite of their daily routine, they decided they chose Krishna as their topmost priority. That is why they are in Bhagavatam. Why our name is not Bhagavatam? We do everything else other than Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness, we have a car, we have four wheels, and we have fifth wheel, which is a steering wheel. Steering wheel is very important, right? What we do is we keep everything else as a steering wheel. My job is steering wheel, my family relationship are steering wheel, I have to take care of my health is my steering wheel, I have to take care of my finances as a steering wheel. We keep bhakti as a spare wheel. And what happens because of that? Yugal Kishore Prabhu mentions that we are imbalanced. Steering wheel is to actually drive, decide where to go, which route to take, and all that stuff. We just take it as spare wheel. That is why we just keep going, nothing happens. But here Krishna is saying, whatever you do, which means you keep bhakti as your steering wheel. Decide, drive where you want to go. Where am I? When did I start Krishna consciousness? Where did I reach so far? Why so slow? We don't ask that question. Wonderful, I'm coming, I'll come, that's okay. Bhakti is not about ringing the bell outside the temple. Bhakti is not just offering obeisances to the temple, have prasad and leave. Doesn't happen that way. Bhakti is to actually give our heart to Krishna, which means each and every moment we contemplate, we introspect, where am I heading? Where is my life going? Right? It is important. Whatever we eat, whatever we offer, whatever we give away, even whatever austerities we do, we hardly any do austerities. And but whatever austerities we do, we should perform as an offering to Krishna. Write down from morning to the evening how many times I remembered Krishna, what all things I did by remembering Krishna. And as the list grows, which means I'm growing, right? So it's important. So Prabhupada is explaining in the purport, it is a duty of everyone to mold his life in such a way that he will not forget Krishna in any circumstance. When you don't forget Krishna in any circumstance, Krishna makes sure even in whatever situation we are in. I was just hearing one devotee's father. He's not Krishna conscious. He got cancer, suffering intensely through from the cancer. It is so much of severe pain, but unfortunately, he doesn't have any alternative. First and foremost thing, he is suffering, but he doesn't have understanding about why am I suffering? How do I get out of it? Right? Unfortunately or fortunately, we know some aspect of it. That goal of life is not to rot in the hospital, not to rot in the old age home when our kids throw us there, right? Not to rot alone in the material world. But the purpose of life is to practice bhakti. But bhakti is such an art. It is not easy to practice bhakti. If you want to do it all of a sudden, you have to actually do practice to actually reach to a certain stage. Otherwise, it's just a time pass, right? So that is what is Prabhupada explaining here. Everyone has to work for maintenance of his body and soul together. Why are we working? So that we can keep the body and soul together. Because if the soul leaves, what I'm going to do? Can I earn? No. Can I see my family? No. The dead body is just lying in front of us. Can't even relate to it. We can't connect to it. So we are working for the maintaining the body and soul together. And Krishna recommends here in that one should work for him. Now, here, work for him does not mean that you leave your job and stay in the temple and then you do the service. Even your duty, whatever you're doing, you do it as an offering to Krishna. Everyone has to eat something to live. Therefore, you should accept the remnants of foods of offer to Krishna. We should see over the years, did I stop eating everything which I'm not supposed to eat, whether it is onion, garlic, whether it is a tea, coffee? Where are we heading? Do I have some kind of austerity which I'm performing? Am I doing Ekadashi? Right? Am I chanting more rounds? We need to introspect. And then we should make sure that whatever we eat, that has to be offered to Krishna. Any civilized man has to perform some religious ritualistic ceremonies. Therefore, Krishna recommends do it for me. And this is called as archana, offering everything to Krishna. Everyone has a tendency to give something in charity. Krishna says, give it to me. What does that mean? Oh, you feel, oh, Krishna is begging from me. No, he is not begging from us. He's a Lakshmi Pati. He is a husband of goddess of fortune. We do Diwali worship to actually do Mother Lakshmi that I get a lot of money, right? I get a lot of Lakshmi. But Lakshmi is the wife of Vishnu. So he's Lakshmi Pati. Does he need anything from us? No. Why does he ask some things from us? So that we can purify our own existence. For our own welfare, he is asking. Like, for an example, if a thief comes to you and then he puts a gun on your head and asks you, give me the money, and you give the money, do you do voluntarily? No. We are forced to do that. Does it give us happiness? No, it doesn't give us happiness. Does that give happiness to the thief? Yes, definitely it gives him a thief. So he is doing for his own thing, thief. We are giving it for because I'm forced to do it. But here Krishna is saying you voluntarily offer and you get benefit out of it, not that I'll get benefit. And this means that our surplus money accumulated should be utilized in furthering the Krishna conscious movement. A very important to develop the quality of donating. There was one story or one you can put it as a joke or whatever it is. There were four friends. So one day they decide to go for boating. So they go to the boat. One of the guy is a miser. He doesn't give anything. So he had a coin. At the time, the coin was the bigger currency. So his coin fell off in the river. And what he did is he jumped in the river. But he did not. He realized he does not know swimming. So he's yelling. And then the other folks in the boat, they are saying, "Give your hand, give your hand." This guy is not giving the hand. So one person out of them said, "Hey, don't ask him to give. Don't tell him to give the hand. Ask him to take your hand because this guy is a miser. He never learned how to give. He only knows how to take." So then he hold the hand and was saved. We need to learn how to be charitable, and we need to teach kids how to be charitable. It's a very important disposition, very important quality. If we don't do it, kids won't learn. And then at the same time, we see when we are old, we ask kids for our maintenance, they don't give a single penny. Why? Because we never did donating. We never donated anyone. We didn't teach kids how to donate. So they become miser. They don't want to give anything to others. Right? I've seen sometimes kids in the temple, or they just care about themselves. Prasad is left, or is prasad is in a small quantity, and they want to take it, and they sometimes throw it in the trash. But they don't care about whether the other people are getting it or not. At the end of the day, whether I'm getting or not. Selflessness is very difficult virtue today. How do we teach them? By we ourselves being selfless, right? I was doing a book distribution in Indian grocers on Sunday. So we all do and go and do book distribution in different places. When we approached for books, they said, "I already have Bhagavad Gita." Okay, I have a Krishna book you want to take. Arey, I didn't even touch Bhagavad Gita yet. It is lying there in the coat closet or whatever it is. Well, I don't want to take another book. Okay, so some of them would bring the full cart with lot of items. I would tell them, "Do you want help? Do you want hand? I can load it for you." "Oh, no, 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 this is fine." Right? So they feel gratitude that way, that this is the thing, right? But it is important to actually learn ourselves and teach our kids how to actually serve selflessly. So donation is very important for our own purification. We should always look for an opportunity. It is said whenever you go to the temple, you should never go empty handed. Either you should take some flowers, either you should take some grains, either you should take, if you don't have any of that stuff, you should donate some money in the temple. Now, does the temple need it? Well, yes and no. They externally say that, oh, temple is in crisis. Like our Farmington Hills temple, we comfortably eat our plates every Sunday. They are most of the time, almost every month they are deficit of 8 to 10,000. Where is the money coming from? Where is the money going? They give free prasad. Sunday feast, if you see, at least 4 or 5 items are there. Sabji, dal is there, rice is there, sabji is there, puri is there, and one sweet is there. At least 5 items. Free. Nobody asks you for money. In some of the temples, they put the donation box just ahead so that you can put donation. You don't see donation box next to our prasadam serving counter. But we just take the plate. We go to restaurant and we just ask him, "Hey, I'm not going to pay the money. I'll take 5 items." What they will do, they'll kick you out. But when we get the plate in the temple, we don't feel like putting the Lakshmi there. Right? That is what it shows. Are we here to give or are we here to take? Right? So nowadays people are very much inclined to do meditational process, which is not practical in this age. But if anyone practices meditation on Krishna 24 hours a day by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra round his beats, he is surely the greatest meditator and greatest yogi, as substantiated by the sixth chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Any questions or comments in this verse? Okay. No problem. Who else just joined? Sorry. It just shows fellow gesture, so I can't figure out.
Hare Krishna Babuji, Danvat Pranam.
Dandar, Pranamati. Thank you for joining in.
Thank you.
So we are reading 9.28. Shubha Shubha Falaerevam
Shubha-shubha-falarevam
Mokshasya Karma Bandhane
mokshasye karmavandane
Sannyasa Yoga Yuktatma
sannyasa yoga yuktatma
Vimukto Mam Upaishyasi.
vimukto mam upaishyasi.
Who can read the translation?
In this way, you will be free from bondage to work and its auspicious and inauspicious results. With your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and continue.
Beautiful. Thank you, Mataji. Now let's take an example. I work for a company which produces wine. Okay? I'm giving an example. Which produces wine. Now, people drink that wine. Some people actually make an accident, they kill someone by an accident, or they are out of their consciousness and they kill someone. So, what happens? Who gets the karma? Who's going to mention that? What do you think? Who gets the karma?
By drinking wine, somebody
I work.
accidentally.
I work for a wine company.
Okay. Mm,
Okay, so I assist in whatever way to produce that wine.
mm,
That company sells the wine. Somebody drinks that wine,
mm.
and then he kills someone either by an accident. But he's driving the car and he basically
Or is intoxicated and then
correct,
okay. So
correct.
mm.
Who gets the karma?
Everybody shares that.
Okay, thank you, Jawad Prabhu. What do you think? Who gets the karma? Okay,
So,
Naresh Prabhu. Anyone else? Who gets the karma?
Probably all the stakeholders, everybody.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you. Why all the stakeholders say I didn't kill anyone? No, sir. No, ma'am. You were assisting in producing the wine. You were assisting in building a software for wine company. Now here is another question. Say I work for an IT company who gives mortgage. Okay? I give a mortgage to a terrorist. That guy builds the house. And then in that house, he kills 100 people. Who gets the karma? All of us get the karma. Everyone. Even I am there. I have nothing to do with that guy. But I am building a software for a mortgage company. Even they don't know who is this guy. They gave they basically grant him the loan, and that guy does some nonsense. So we get the karma. Now imagine how important it is to actually get out of the cycle of karma there. I'm not doing it intentionally, but that is still happening, and I'm part of it. So Krishna saying, coming back to the previous verse, this is a follow-up verse. In this way, you will be freed from bondage. How do you free from bondage to work? Whatever you are earning, you offer not the 100%, not necessary. You are welcome to do 100%, but some percentage of that money you donate to the temple. You feed the devotees. You help building the temple. You help temple building buying groceries, or you bring groceries by that money. You help people to go to holy dhams. You assist people in holy dham. That is how we will get out of the bondage of auspicious and or inauspicious respect. Well, now somebody may say, why should I get away with auspicious? It's nice, right? Well, the problem with auspicious or inauspicious is still a karma. I still have to reap the fruits of that karma, good or bad. Krishna says, with your mind fixed on me in this principle of renunciation, you will be liberated and come to me. Whether I'm doing intentionally doing something or unintentionally doing because somebody is performing a wrong act based on I contribute, I still become liberated. I don't have to come to the cycle of birth and death. Very, very important quality to cultivate. Whenever I go to the temple, some part of my salary should always go to temple. Either you sponsor Sunday feast, either you give for money for flowers offering to Krishna, either you offer either you offer a bhoga for the Lord, chappan bhog for the Lord. Extremely important. Krishna doesn't need anything, but he is helping us to purify our existence. We should utilize that opportunity. Prabhupada says, one who acts in Krishna consciousness under superior direction is called Yukta. The technical term is called as Yukta Vairagya. Rupa Goswami says, Anasaktya Vishayam Yathar Aham Upayunjataha Nirbandha Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Muchyate. What does Rupa Goswami says? Rupa Goswami is the follower of Lord Chaitanya. Who is Lord Chaitanya? Is Krishna himself. He said that as long as we are in the material world, we have to act. We cannot cease acting. Therefore, if actions are performed and fruits are given to Krishna, that is called Yukta Vairagya. Actually, situated in renunciation, such activities clear the mirror of the mind. And as the actor gradually makes progress in spiritual realization, he becomes completely surrendered to Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sometimes, even when kids go for distribution, actually every Sunday, no Saturday, actually, sorry, not Sunday. Kids go, they are so excited about book distribution. Why? At such a young age, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years, 12 years, 14 years, they go for book distribution. What is happening there? What is the difference between a mundane thing versus book distribution? You are giving Krishna to others. Krishna is super happy because you gave Krishna to others. Right? So, when we do these activities, we become very dear to Krishna. That is the whole purpose of bhakti. What is the purpose of bhakti? I want to be closer to Krishna. I want Krishna's blessing. I want Krishna's happiness. If Krishna is happy with us, then the whole material world struggle will be like a small particle which you can cross over. That is why it is important to actually do the activities which are giving pleasure to Krishna. Yes, I have to take care of my family. Yes, I have to take care of my kids. Yes, I have to take care of my job. What am I doing for others? I'm just doing everything for my family. My boss. Why do I work for boss? Because I want to earn money. So I'm not doing anything for others. I'm doing everything for me. That is selfish life. What is selfless life? What am I doing? You see, a lot of people do voluntary work. We were just Temple Garden, right on the back side. We got a ticket saying that, oh, there are a lot of weeds and all that stuff. You have to clean it up. So now, alone Yugal Kishore Prabhu, what can he do? He was trying. And then we got the mulch and all. So we were just requesting devotees to come and help on whenever they are possible. So we were giving 2-3 hours every day almost for almost 2 weeks. So now one may say, what am I doing, man? I put the mulch at my home also. I'll take care of mulch or whatever we call it as. And I take care of my garden. What is the difference? You are taking care of Krishna's garden versus doing your. This is selfless. Not doing it for myself, doing it for Krishna. We need to do that to actually make our heart softer like a butter. Otherwise, this bhakti is not going to, we will still continue at the same pace. Seva is needed. Seva is very much needed. What am I doing? What am I doing for others? Am I doing, if I do from morning to evening activity, what did I do for others? If the answer is nothing, then we are unfortunately the poorest person on this earth. However, if I have did something for us, we are probably the richest person on this earth, because happiness is the food of the heart. It doesn't happen by buying a great phone. It doesn't happen by having a beautiful house. It doesn't happen by a excellent car. It doesn't happen by a huge bank balance in my bank. The happiness is the art of heart. It resides in the heart. And the only thing which gives pleasure to heart is love. Not the love of mundane people or husband and wife, love of Krishna. Therefore, at the end of the become and at the end he becomes liberated, and his liberation is also specified. By this liberation, he does not become one with Brahman Jyoti. Prabhupada is clarifying. There are five different stages of liberation. Here it is specified that devotee who has always lived his lifetime here under the direction of Supreme Lord as stated, has evolved to the point where he can, after quitting the body, go back to Godhead. In front of her eyes, we saw a wonderful soul. For you, she was a friend. For me, she was my wife. Went back to Godhead. Going to Godhead is not a small thing. Going to Godhead is not an easy thing. The destination. There are sadhus who does tapasya underwater for thousands of years. For what? To go back to Godhead. And here we are eating nice prasad. We are sitting on our couch chanting. We get liberation. We get the opportunity to go back to Godhead if we give our heart to Krishna, not to our family, not to our boss, not to our banks, not to our government, not to our parents, but we give it to Krishna. As stated, it has evolved to the point where he can, after quitting the body, go back to Godhead and be in association of Supreme Lord. Anyone who has no interest but to dedicate his life to the service of Lord is actually a sannyasi. Not that you have to wear the robes of sannyasi. What does sannyasi mean? Who wants to dedicate his life to Krishna. Such a person always thinks himself as an eternal servant dependent on the supreme will of the Lord. As such, whatever he does it for the benefit of the Lord. I'll probably post a video, a drama of one of the amazing personality in Srimad Bhagavad called as Avanti Brahman. If you see that drama, you will be able to connect. At least I was able to connect myself to him, thinking that man, at least the initial part, being so living so selfish. He was living a selfish life, earning money, minting money for himself, storing money for himself. But time is very powerful. Time took away everything from him. Whatever he was a he had a warehouse where he put all the grains and all this, so that was burned. His fields were burned. Whatever money he deposited, he was accruing, the thief stole away. He had a house, then the collector came to do a tax collection. You did not pay for 10 years? Now I'll take the house also. He became a beggar. But when he became a beggar, he realized what is the purpose of life. It's a beautiful drama. I'll post that link. You should watch that wonderful drama.
Is it the 11th chapter that comes, Prabhu, in
Srimad
Bhagavad
Bhagavatam 11th canto.
Gita?
That's right. Very beautiful one. It is said, therefore, by Vaishnava authority that even the most intelligent person cannot understand the plans and activities of pure devotee. Very difficult. They are there in front of us. We hardly understand them. I saw my wife in front of my eyes. Her consciousness, what she is working on, what she would do. Her entire day is around how can I give Krishna to others. That is why she is living with Krishna now. Doesn't have to rot here in the material world. That is what we have to observe. What a pure devotee is doing. It is the exact words are Tanra Vakya Kriya Mudra Vishneha Na Bhujaya. Chaitanya Charitamrita says a person who is thus always engaged in the service of Lord or is always thinking and planning how to serve the Lord is to be considered completely liberated at present. In the future, he's going back home, back to God. It is guaranteed. Not a 1 hour of service a week, not a 2 hour of service a week. Figuring out how can I do more for Krishna, looking for an opportunity to do more for Krishna. Was looking at one of our devotee Jagdishwar Prabhu. He takes pictures in the temple tirelessly, working at least 6 to 7 hours a day, other than his 8 to 10 hours job, other than taking care of his family. What is he doing? Removing all the mud, putting the mulch over that. Very menial job, but he is eligible for going back to Godhead. Why? He wants to dedicate his time. He wants to dedicate his life for Krishna. Right? Any questions or comments on this verse? I was thinking, do you think is it possible for everyone that we have a face-to-face class versus just online class? How many of us would like to have a face-to-face? We get together Monday or some other day in a week if you think there is another appropriate day. We have in-person class. How many of devotees are interested?
Yeah, if on Mondays, yeah, by then I get there, Prabhu. No.
But some other days work for you, Mataji?
um, Gosh, the weekends. But weekends are here. Yeah, everybody
Yeah.
else does something. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Let's hear from others. What do you all think?
Tuesday will work for me. Tuesday evening
Tuesday
or
evening, 7:30 to 8:30 works for you, Prabhu. Jawar Prabhu, is that time good for you?
yeah, 7:30 to 8:30 or 7 to 8.
Okay, okay. What about you, Kalamataji? Will Tuesday work? Do you have work on Tuesday as well?
Yeah, yeah. 7 to, by then I get home would be 7 ish. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. No, I'm just trying to figure out. How about you, Naresh Prabhu?
Prabhu, I'm okay on Monday, Tuesday. Not a problem, Prabhu. Friday, Wednesday.
Okay.
Okay. I'll tell you my days.
Mm-hmm.
Monday I have this Bhakti Vriksha. Tuesday I'm free. Wednesday I attend Bhakti Vriksha. Thursday I have Kirtan festival. Friday I have my own seva. Saturday
Mm.
I have a full morning program. Sunday I have a Sunday feast. Um,
Oh,
so I can either do Sunday evening, and again that will compromise your family commitments and all that stuff, or
mm.
I can do Saturday evening, or I can do any other weekday like Tuesday or Monday. Just think, just think over. Let me know.
Just for the coming week, Prabhuji, or just
So coming week we can have online. Um,
that? Mm-hmm.
because I'll be traveling coming
Yeah,
not coming Wednesday. The next Wednesday I'm going to India for 2 months.
yeah.
Um,
You're
to
calling.
visit
Mm-hmm.
different holy places. I don't think so I'll be able to do it from there because I'll be traveling. So I
Mm.
just
Yeah.
want to put a pause until then, and then we get together. But when I come back, I ideally want to start because all
Oh,
the programs, all the devotees who are having programs or whoever are taking Bhakti Vriksha, all of them are in person except me.
okay.
And I see a huge difference in the commitment and as well as just the connection between the devotees.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is not a decision to be made right now, but just picking your brain just to understand.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, yeah, we can do it at my place, and then I can cook prasad, so we can have prasad after that. Maybe it will be a simple prasad, but we can do that at my place. I can ask in the temple if that works. We can meet in the temple, but if it happens in the temple, it cannot happen at 7 p.m. because 7 p.m. is Aarti.
After
It has
time.
to happen at 7:30. Um, and then 7:30 to 8:30, then followed by the prasad, or like something like that. So we need to work on that piece. You let me know, or if it happens at my place, we can have 7 to 7:30 prasad. If you like to have it early, like I take it early, and then 7:30 to 8:30 class, whichever way you suggest.
Yeah, don't worry about the prasadam, Prabhu. Just okay. Just
No, because if you all come from work, then it becomes difficult, because prasadam is also one of the important thing as part of the program. So we can work on that, or we can, if you think weekend are comfortable, we can do Saturday evening or Sunday evening, um, and then whatever way we can each person can bring one item. We can do that as well. So just let me know, because I ideally want to move to in person. There are few more devotees who will join. So that's the whole idea. Okay,
Hare
so
Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay.
If it's evening, maybe we will be able to join also because
sorry Mataji, come again.
if it is Saturday, maybe we will be able to join also. Like, or if it's in our area, sometime if it's in Troy area, if you want to do sometime our
Yes,
house.
but at the same time, I don't want 70% online and 1% sitting there. It just lose the
right.
motivation. So I want at least 80 to 90% devotees
Yeah.
in person, and then I understand Mataji, she lives very far, so it's not possible, and she's already attending other Bhakti Vriksha, so that's okay. It's out of her kind thought that she joins us, which is wonderful. So I just don't want to force you, Mataji, or good. I just want to make sure rest of the devotees are able to make it. Then we can have also Zoom, like this call, and then I want most of the devotees. Exceptions are there, but most of the devotees, or 99% of the devotees, in person. Okay.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I will join on Zoom for sure.
Okay, sounds good. I think this is all I had. Any questions, any comments, not necessary with the class, any hiccups, any things need clarification, any open questions. Honestly, that's a golden opportunity. I'll give you one example. Oh, you know what? I want to chant more rounds. I'm just throwing some ideas on questions. I want to increase my rounds. How do I increase my rounds? Um, I want to do chanting in the morning, but I have a lot of commitments in the morning. How can I chant in the morning? Um, I want to offer everything to Krishna. How do I actually make sure that how do I take care of those things? That I want to do everything, offer to Krishna and have it. I want to increase my service. I want to do more service in the temple. What can I do? When can I do? How can I do? Um, I want to be regular hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. I want to read Srimad Bhagavatam as often as possible, pretty much daily. How do I actually in, I cultivate that habit? I want to do attentive chanting. How can I cultivate? There are millions questions which could be asked, just throwing few here and there, so that this is a good fortune. I will say this is a great fortune to actually have such questions being opened up. So I just want to give an opportunity if you have any questions here.
Prabhuji, I have one question that like we have the coverage, so we are doing 60 rounds or sometimes. So
Mm,
we want like we want to take initiation like or
mm,
shelter for
mm.
that. So what should we do for that?
Yeah, very
Like
very good point. Very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. Um, if someone is running a restaurant, for an example, that is bread and butter for them. That's their way of earning the livelihood. But however, you have a chain of restaurant, and now you have to serve something which is not um, Krishna conscious. So what do we do there? Because that's one of the important criteria. Because I follow four regulative principles, and I'm chanting 16 rounds, and I aspire for initiation. I know one devotee Mataji who runs a hotel back in Pune. Um, he got initiated. He first and foremost thing, whomever he is aspiring for, he reached out to Maharaj, mentioned his situation, and sharing with the honest heart that I'm looking for initiation. This is what my job is, and I'm not able to move away from that. What do I do? They got the answer. I myself and yourself cannot identify such answers, or even other devotee who are not initiating will not be able to answer it correctly. However, a guru whom you are aspiring for, if you approach him one way or the other way through devotees, saying that Maharaj, this is the situation, sometimes you can write the letter to them, sometimes you can email them, sometimes when you get to see them in person, through some devotees talk to them and mention that this is a struggle I have, and you clarify what should you do. They should be able to take you from there, Mataji. It's a tough call to make at my end because Guru can do anything. I don't know what all options he will provide and what can he do. He can definitely do much more than what I would say in the call. Makes sense, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. I was like, what should we do? What should we do? So yeah,
Yes.
we can.
If we are sincere, Krishna will guide. Whatever is the
Yes.
situation. Mrigrari was killing animals, right? He was killing
Yeah.
animals. He became a disciple of Srila Narada Muni. Valmiki. Valmiki became Valmiki after, before that, he was a hunter. He was killing animals. He became Valmiki by taking shelter of Narada Muni. So I'm not saying we are at that platform or we are there, but at the same time, these are some examples which give some highlight. Where are we heading towards? Okay. Any other questions or comments? I'm sorry, I'm 1 minute over time, but one final questions or comments. Okay. No questions. Thank you so much. Really grateful to you for coming today. I was little nervous when I saw nobody joined in first 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, looks like everybody is busy. But thank you, Kala Mataji joined, and slowly all of you joined. Really grateful for your kind association. May Krishna bless you. May Krishna create a pathway for you to grow in bhakti. But you do your job of sincerely aspiring for that. Thank you so much. Shila Prabhupada ki Jai. We'll see you
Thanks,
next
Prabhu.
Monday.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.